Welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today I'm going to be talking about the cryptocurrency Terra Luna Classic, also known as LUNC. I'm going to be talking about some issues surrounding this project. I'm also going to be discussing some prophecy and confront some things and some of the things that are being said out there in the community. And I'm also going to be discussing the price relating to a major issue that is partially keeping Terra Luna Classic from moving forward. And that actually might change the way you pray about this project. Now, before we get into this, I'm not a financial advisor. And if you guys like the videos that I make and you want to support what I do, those links are down below in the description and also the comment section, the Patreon, PayPal, and so on. All right, so Terra Luna Classic is sitting at 405717. I've been involved with LUNC ever since the beginning, ever since Christopher Harris originally gave the prophecy. A lot of us were able to get in to Terra Luna Classic when it hit rock bottom. And for a lot of people, the Luna Classic project seems to be stalled. And there's some issues that are relating to that I want to get into so you understand what's going on. Now, first of all, Terra Classic was a result of the stablecoin Luna crashing back in 2022. It was one of the major black swan events that led to eventually other crypto businesses and banks and so on collapsing. So Christopher Harris, I give it a perfect word about this, and we have been invested ever since. Now, for most people that are in the wealth transfer community, and this has to be said because other YouTubers don't understand that the Christian wealth transfer movement, they're not swing traders. They are mostly buyers and holders. And so that's very important in how we move forward with this, because I've always shared, if you want to make money and you're complaining about different investments, then you need to learn how to trade instead of watching this prophecy video over here or confirmation prophecies or prophecies that have nothing to do or add to anything. And because of that, there's a lot of people that, they're like, how come it's not moving in the way that it's been prophesied? Because there's been a lot of prophecies, people seeing rockets of Luna taking off and all this. And there's been a lot of prophecies over the last several years dealing with this. But I always go back to the original ones because that's the foundation of why we're here. And one of the things that people haven't learned yet is patience. I mean, if you look at all the people who own Bitcoin that are still holding on to it, that we're waiting for it to get over 100,000, right? And you still got other people that are waiting for it to go even higher than that. So they've waited for many, many years. And that's one of the things that people do not have in the Christian wealth transfer community is patience. And I know it's hard. It's just like the XRP case should have been settled within the first 3 months of Trump taking over. There's no excuse at all whatsoever in my eyes. And so what I expect from Terra Classic right now, until we get some of these other issues resolved, it's just going to move when the markets move. That's the way that I look at it, right? And it's going to fall a little bit behind, but there's some issues that have to be resolved. Now, looking at this article from Binance Square, it says here, this is back from April the 8th, LUNC price shaken by Kwon's legal drama, what investors need to know. The cryptocurrency market is once again in turmoil as legal proceedings involving Terraform Labs co-founder Kwon cast a long shadow over the Terra Luna Classic. Recent developments, including a high-profile hearing and regulatory updates, have caused significant price movement for LUNC, raising questions about its legal and financial future. LUNC dips after key court development. On April the 8th, the U.S. District Court confirmed that Kwon will face trial in the United States despite ongoing appeals from his legal team. The court rejected further delays and confirmed that proceedings will begin later this year with fraud and market manipulation charges on the docket. This announcement led to a sharp decline in LUNC's price, falling nearly 7% within 24 hours, dropping it below the 3012 mark for the first time in weeks. Investors reacted swiftly, interpreting the news as a sign that the legal saga is far from over. And so I'm not going to particularly read anymore, but there is pressure from the United States against Kwon. From what I understand, he's still in jail. The issue is that as long as this is dragging out, then you're still going to have issues with the price. Because you have to remember, when all of this happened, Kwon was bent on trying to restore the LUNC and Luna community. And he hasn't even been on, just looking at this really quick, he hasn't even been on Twitter since the end of 2022. but he was supporting the project. You can't support the project while dealing with all of these legal issues. Now, also, too, CZ was also helping the Luna Classic community out, right? But he's no longer the CEO of Binance. So when you look at these things and you look at what the Biden administration did, I mean, they really have taken out a lot of key figures during that time period, during that long crypto winter, out of the picture. They told Elon Musk to shut up and don't talk about investments, any investments. He's not really actually being charged with the actual collapse. He's just being charged with some of the things that he said that was opposite of what was actually taking place. So he is going to receive some form of punishment. Now, the difference is between this administration and the last administration, the Trump administration is more crypto friendlier. So I am hoping, and that's what our prayer should be, is that this case is resolved quickly and Kwon can come back to restore or help restore the Luna Classic holders, right? And restore all the projects that are associated with Kwon. Now, there was a recent proceeding on July the 28th. Right, Kwon's legal proceedings may be delayed again as both the U.S. government and Kwon's legal team asked yesterday for a third extension to submit pre-trial motions. From what I understand, there's more evidence that is on like thumb drives and computers and stuff. It's possible that the government doesn't have the information that they need to like really have a strong case. Who knows? But our prayer and our hope should be that this case is resolved and is resolved quickly and fairly. And that's going to help out with this project. So that is one of the major reasons why Terra Luna Classic is not moving in the way that people would like it. You remember, it had 3 zeros and a 1 not that long ago. So in December of 2024, it had 3 zeros, 1 6, and because of the case, this is why it's sliding down. Now, a lot of people say, the community is infighting and all that stuff, and yes, that is taking place, and that really doesn't have an effect as far as whether or not if you are supporting the project. You're going to have issues that seem to be working itself out. Now, there is some news that I would like to share that it is coming up. Because of the voting, they're doing the upgrade. It's going to happen on August the 15th, and there's a lot of other things that got voted in that's going to improve the functions and the stability of the Classic chain. So this is very important. This is something that needed to be done. Right, so this is going to gain some attention. I'm not expecting it to run up to $1 or pennies on the dollar, whatever the case. But this is just like every project. When they update, the project gets stronger and stronger. But everything that they're doing, folks, you just have to be patient and let things work through and let God work it out. There was a reason why he gave people this prophetic word to begin with. So you just need to be patient. Don't be like some of the people in the wilderness that, when are we going to get to the promised land, Moses? When are we going to get there? See, that's how some of you guys are acting. And some people want to put things off on Christopher Harris. And that's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I do want to confront the issue because there was a prophetic word that went out from Robyn Cunningham. And I don't call him a prophet because he never gets anything right. He's got over 500 failed prophecies, and all of them with dates and time frames. So don't say we prophesy in part and all that stuff, because when somebody gives a date and a time frame, that's the part. And if many of you don't know, one of the major failures that Robyn Cunningham gave concerning Shiba Inu and why I stopped following him was because he said that Shiba Inu would be pennies on the dollar on December the 17th of 2021. And Shiba Inu was sitting at 4033. He said it was going to happen within weeks, days or weeks. And so me and my community, we believed in him, and it didn't end up going anywhere but dropping down to 4021, right, by January 30th. So it didn't happen. So a lot of people got wrecked. But let's go ahead and listen to what he said so we can deal with this.
All that stuff. Also, the Lord was sharing with me about LUNC this morning, and while I was praying, I saw a vision of it being buried and dead. So I don't think that it's going to make a recovery like a lot of people want it to recover and go back up to those insanely high prices like it did before, and I just don't see that happening really soon. But on the plus side, I did see Shiba Inu growing. I heard.
So many of you know who Robyn Cunningham is. You know that he's made a lot of prophecies that failed. A lot of people got burned. I got burned. My community got burned. Right? And he's still burning people. And with all the positive things that is coming out with Terra Luna Classic, and he comes out with this prophecy. Now, compared to everybody else has seemingly positive prophecies. And so you have to look at this, the purpose behind the prophecy. So what are the instructions, right? And the instructions, according to him, he's saying, well, it's going to be dead and buried. That's what the Lord showed him. But we know his standalone prophecy rate is basically near zero. You guys know and have heard many of his prophecies. He just prophesied about the dinar again, which he failed miserably before. Remember, he gave 4 prophecies that it was going to happen within a year, and it didn't happen. So this is what I'm saying about watching out for people in the community that don't know what they're talking about, and most definitely they're not hearing from God, and most definitely they are not a prophet. So you guys need to be aware of these things, because somebody probably sold off, and you guys are still wasting your time with his prophecies. So going back to Luna Classic, there are 3 things that you can do, right, concerning this, is to continue to buy and hold and promote. Because if you're just buying and holding and you're waiting for God to sprinkle magic dust on the cryptocurrencies for it to rise, and you're not participating in it at all whatsoever, is trying to help it. I know you can't do it with every single project. I have over 100 different cryptocurrencies. So I can't be a part of every single project. But for those of you who are complaining, if you're not sharing at least a couple times a week on some media platform about the cryptos that you're in, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're complaining about the price of Terra Classic, then you need to post other people's videos or whatever on social media, Facebook, whatever the case, and help promote it if you're just buying and holding and complaining. And the other thing you can do is swing trade Terra Classic so that you can gain more shares, right? And taking those extra tokens out of circulation. So that's another strategy. And so at least, especially if you're on Twitter, at least like the posts. If I see any investment that I'm involved in, I'm hitting like. So you guys have to do more than just complain. You have to be active in the community. I don't know where crypto's going to go. You have the bulls and you have the bears, and they're fighting very hard. If you're really concerned about your portfolio, then you can always set up stop losses, but you got to learn how to do that. But even if the markets go down for the next 2 months, it's going to go back up. So if you want to buy Luna Classic, you have Binance, you have OKX, you have BitGet, MEXC, Gate, KuCoin, Crypto.com, Kraken, Bitmart, and so on. So that's all that I have for this today, folks. Hopefully that you guys understand where I'm coming from and what we need to do from here on out. And that's just to pray for the project specifically relating to the case. Continue to buy and hold, continue to promote on social media and liking posts and so on. So that's all that I have for this. I thank you guys for listening. God bless.